A Get Ready with me, where I talk about the pros and cons of working at Bath & Body Works. I asked you guys in a survey what are some topics you would like me to talk about while I do a Get Ready with me, because you guys would like to see Get Ready with me, and Bath & Body Works was one of the first comments, so that's what we're gonna do. But if you want to or if you want me to talk about any subject that you'd like, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll certainly get around to doing that. All right. So to start off, I'm not going to be talking about so much about what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of be showing the products and applying them, but I will be listing all of the products that I use down below. And yeah, I kind of wrote down like the pros and cons on my list. I have a Why I Quit Bath & Body Works video, which is a little bit older, but I kind of feel like, you know, an updated version is always helpful, and I kind of felt like that video might have been like a little all over the place, not going to lie. I didn't have my thoughts written down. I was just kind of going off by like feelings in the video, but I have been able to give the pros and the cons a little bit more thought for this video. So first things first, one of the pros that I thought was a pro for working at Bath & Body Works, and why my collection got pretty big in regards to body care, which is ironic because before I started working at Bath & Body Works, I was not like the biggest like body care fragrance mist, gotta smell. I mean, I did have like a pretty large fine fragrance mist collection, but not like so many lotions and so many shower gels and all of that stuff. So in regards to that, the gratis was one of the pros. We would mostly get monthly gratis of whatever the new collection was, because Bath & Body Works tends to come out with new things every 6 weeks, so that's why I say mostly monthly, because it wasn't exactly like at the month. And so that was really nice. But the way that they gave us gratis was that you had to do like scenarios that the company would like send us of like how they want us to promote the new product, like keywords that they wanted to say. So if it was like the typical Hawaiian themed collection that comes out every spring, they wanted us to say like aloha. Like it was super weird. Like they actually wanted us to say like aloha. So like when you walked in, they literally wanted you to treat like the customer as if like you suddenly magically like stepped into Hawaii, because the new collection is right at the entrance. So you had to do like these role-playing scenarios, like how are you going to sell like this certain product, or how are you going to sell like this certain product. And what was the other one? Oh, I think like during Christmas one time, because I think I worked, what is it? I worked 2 Christmases and kind of like a half, because my last year I quit like right before Black Friday, so we already had like our Christmas stuff. They wanted to be like, welcome to the winter wonderland, and it's like, that is so awkward to say, but that's what Bath & Body Works wanted us to do. And like, I tried not to do it because you could tell like how awkward and how like confused, and the customer probably thought like you were like the biggest weirdo ever by saying stuff like that. So I tried not to, but like for this role playing to get your gratis, like obviously like I would pretend to be like, aloha, welcome to the winter wonderland, it's Christmas time, the most fabulous time of the year. So you would do that with your manager, which I always thought was very awkward, because like you would try to like upsell to your manager and they would like give you like pointers, but I hated role playing for gratis. So then after like you did the role play scenario, they'll be like, okay, you can grab whatever the gratis is. So like usually for the Hawaii collection, at least the last 2 years, or like at least the 2 years that I worked there, you got like a full-size 3-wick candle, and you got 2 of the travel size fragrance mist from the new collection. Very rarely did we get full-size products. It was also usually like the travel size, so you could get like a travel size fragrance mist and a hand sanitizer from the new collection. Sometimes it was like a soap and a hand sanitizer. It really just depended on the collection, depending on like what they really focused on. But it was never the same. And then when Christmas time came, when we had all of the all of like the new hires, like the seasonal workers, the gratis kind of stops. And the gratis also stops for the semi-annual sale just because there isn't new products. And you know, the whole point of gratis is technically for you to try out the product and recommend it to customers, say like, hey, this is my favorite thing. Which I don't know, I never like, you know, no, I feel like nobody was like, oh, like this is what I recommend. We always try to go off of like what type of fragrances they like, and then we recommend like the ones that we like. It was never like, I'm saying like too many times, but it was never like, this is the one I've been trying out, blah blah blah. But I mean, that was like a pro for gratis. And it would always change, but for the most part they always wanted you to do some type of role play. And then like, unless they were like for Mother's Day, I remember one time they were like trying to push Japanese cherry blossom, so we got like the whole like full-size trio. That was like the shower gel, the lotion, and like the fragrance mist. And you're not supposed to do this, but I mean, I don't work there anymore. What are they gonna do, like come after me? You're technically not supposed to like exchange gratis, but like nobody really liked Japanese cherry blossom, so we would always go to like a different Bath and Body Works and just like do an even exchange for a fragrance that we liked. Because no offense to you if you like Japanese cherry blossom, but I definitely don't. I feel like it's like an older lady scent. I feel like more older ladies like it, like my grandma loves it, but I do not. So I mean, and then they say like you could always like gift it to someone, but it's like, no, I got it for free. Sometimes I did gift them because like I got so much product that I just had to give it away sometimes, because I would go to like parties or like stuff and birthday things, and it was just really easy to give away. Sometimes like to a friend that I haven't seen in a while because I had so much, I would be like, here, take this, I don't want it anymore. So yeah, we got a lot of things, and that was definitely one of the pros of Bath and Body Works. Let's talk about a con, pressure to sell. Oh gosh. So if you haven't watched my other video, there is a big pressure to sell at Bath and Body Works, and I'm sure if you go in as a customer, you definitely notice this pressure. Like the sales associates are always on your case. They're always like trying to shove products down your throat, and that's because there's a lot of pressure from management to sell and make sure that the customer remembers your name. Because at Bath and Body Works, it's kind of like a commission for your hours type of scenario. So when they ask you, oh, who helped you with like your sales, and you're supposed to remember like whoever helped you, you're supposed to like remember their name, because then they assign like whatever you're buying, that sale goes to them, and there's like not really like a monetary like reward, but at the end of the day, or even like by an hourly basis, you can see what person has like the most sales, and they always have like this ridiculous goal that you're supposed to have like an hourly average. And of course the way that they do that is like they take up all of your sales, or like the sales that you have, and divide it per hour. So then there's like an that's like your average, and it's like if you're too low, they really like are like, why aren't you selling, like go do this, go do that, and they're watching you like a hawk. And that's just not comfortable to sell when you know you're being watched and you know the pressure is on. And if you're not meeting like that hourly rate, they're gonna cut your hours, because that shows them who is valuable in regards to like selling. But then it's like not fair, and I did talk about this in my why I quit Bath and Body Works. It's not fair because that's really up to, that's in between like the customer and the cashier once they're like checking out, because whoever's assigned as a cashier, it's their job to make sure that the sale gets assigned. But they also, as a cashier, you also have to have like a good, it was called SPA, and it's called like sales per associate hour. So they had to also make sure that themselves, even though that they're on the register, that they have to be selling as well, and they have to be upselling. So they would either assign sales to themselves when a customer wouldn't remember, or if it's like a big sale, or if it's just like a little sale, they would just like assign it to themselves again so they can build their own spa or rate of their sales. And so that's just not fair, and there was a lot of dishonesty in that regards, and it just created more competition between all the girls. Because I mean, we're not at Bath & Body Works, or we worked at Bath & Body Works because we love it so much and we just want to spend our time there and get paid for it. No, it's a job at the end of the day. Like, we all need money to survive. So it's unnecessary, like, competition, and it is like, it's a retail job. Like, you are technically at a starting position. I mean, Bath & Body Works, in like my years of retail and what I hear from other people, and even in the hospitality industry, Bath & Body Works pays, like, I'm gonna be using a palette that's no longer available, so just gonna say Bath & Body Works actually pays really, really well. So I live in California, and when I started working there, the minimum wage was, I want to say it was $8 something. It might have been the $8.50. Especially as I live in the southern part of California where like things are more expensive. So I want to say starting back in like 2014, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the minimum wage was about $8.50, and Bath & Body Works started you like at $9.05. So that was already like above minimum wage for a sales associate position, and I know other jobs like paid you basically minimum wage. Just like talking with my friends in their entry-level positions. So I mean, one of the pros is that they do pay better, but then it comes with all of these like extra unnecessary stress. Like $9.05 back then like wasn't even like, you know, it's still not like a whole lot. It's great that they're paying you more than the minimum wage, but I just feel like for a starting job, there was just way too much pressure. Once they started like doing like the commission per your hours type of scenario, because before that it was just like everyone has to work together, everyone has to like just make the most sales, and like that's your goal, like as a team. It's to make like the store goal. And once the spa thing was introduced, it was not just trying to make the goal sale, but trying to make your own sales to get the hours. And I noticed that when that happened, that we weren't, since we only cared about like meeting our goals, we didn't care so much to make sure that like we got every customer buying stuff, or we didn't like care so much about making the store goal, because now there was like an individual goal that was more important because that was for your hours. So that I just threw like more pros and cons. Pays well, con, too much stress for what it is. And then it ended up I feel like in the beginning, I don't know how it is now because I don't work there anymore, it did end up costing the company, because it's like you are losing people who are trained. So then you have to hire new people to train them, and you're kind of wasting money on training them and losing out on customers because you are training them, because you want them to be better. And you know, some people just don't have the patience to deal with new hires, like customer wise. Like some people like don't want a new person helping them because they take too long, they're too slow. So like I felt like a lot of people it just affected all around the company, which is never good as a company trying to make money. I feel like the people working at Bath & Body Works, here's another extra, I feel like all the managers, like I felt like they were on drugs or something, because they loved working at Bath & Body Works. Like I don't know if it was just like a front, but like all of the people were like super extra nice, which was such a con, at least in all of the Bath & Body Works, like for the most part that I've experienced. I don't remember, there was like one manager that is at the old store I used to work out now, where I had, and that's kind of why like I switched stores, because I just didn't want to work with her because I did not like her. She was like the manager, and she was a person that would steal sales, and I was like, I'm not down for that. And I tend to care a lot about my job, where it's like I want to excel, I want to be like a good little like employee, which is a blessing and a curse, truthfully, because then I care too much. And then when other people don't care as much, that bothers me. But it's like, come on, it's like an entry-level job as well, so it's like, why do you care so much? I don't know, especially when that's like not my end career goal. But as I was saying, for the most part, like 95% of the people I've ever encountered at Bath & Body Works, manager wise, it's like they're all on some happy crack drug whatever. They're like the sweetest, nicest people. Sometimes I did not understand like how they could be like so happy and how they could love their job that much. I mean, hey, there's so many benefits to Bath & Body Works, so that's probably why, because they pay really well, and I'm sure like the managers got bonuses. It's that type of company when they kind of make a lot for like what it is. So I'm sure there's like all these extra bonuses that they get that as an associate we were probably not aware of, but as an associate it's like, why are you so happy for this job? Like, why? I don't understand. But like some of my closest friends, I worked at 3 different places in my entire like work career, last 4 years of working, and I probably have to say that the Bath & Body Works friends that I've made, like ex-coworkers, are the ones I've been the closest with. We actually just got together recently, and we get together a lot. Like every Christmas we get together and we watch like Netflix Christmas movies. Like we watched The Christmas Prince the year it came out. We got together this last Christmas, watched The Christmas Prince 2 and The Princess Switch with Vanessa Hudgens, and it's kind of become a little tradition, and they're truly like my closest friends. Like one of the girls that worked at Bath & Body Works, she left for the hotel industry, and it's because of her I got into the hotel industry. So it's just, they're definitely my closest co-worker friends that I've ever had. So they're all, like, I feel like anybody who works at Bath & Body Works, I feel like they're all really nice, and like you will make lasting friendships. Just because the demographic was more in my age, like they were all kind of like my age, all kind of just doing this for like money and not really like career purposes. So that's, I think that's probably why. But even like the managers are like super nice. Although I don't keep in touch with any of them. I used to keep in touch with one of them, but then she just had a kid and she got really busy, and now she's like mom life, so we lost a little bit of touch. But like I still like follow up with her life and all of that stuff. And if I ever go to her Bath & Body Works that she works at, like we spend hours talking, and yeah, just you'll make really good friends depending on like, and I think that's like with any job, it just depends on like the demographic and I guess what you guys are doing. But yeah. I have to say another pro is working during the semi-annual sale. I feel like this video is so long, but whatever. I'm gonna do my lashes first, and then I'm gonna come back, because if not, it's gonna be like 5 minutes of me doing my lashes, and I cannot speak while I do my eyelashes. So mascara's done. I also kind of did my eyebrows because it just felt like it's gonna take too long. Powdering my face down. So we're gonna do that during the semi-annual sale. Is probably one of the best perks about the semi-annual sale. And I'm not saying because, oh, these sales, like blah blah blah. Like no, sometimes it could get a little boring because there's nothing to fix, because it's all kind of in containers. But one of the best things about it, I know I keep saying the same thing, is that a lot of times, like when we get shipment, we tend to put it right out. So you working at during the sale is that you have like first-hand like options of picking if you want to buy anything. Like sometimes I remember, because we have like a double storage kind of place. We have storage like in the store, and then we have an off-site storage, because that's how much like product like Bath & Body Works really gets. In our off-site storage, like we found like products that like haven't been around in like forever, like these Paris candles that were like in such beautiful packaging with like a glass lid cover or like a ceramic lid cover, and we only had like 10 of them. And so like we were going around the store, like customers like, oh, like these are like special, like these haven't been released in years and blah blah blah, and like we just happen to have a pack. And it's like, as an associate, if you wanted it, like you can like put it aside to buy it like at the end of your shift or like during your lunch. But it's like nobody else is gonna have that because there was only 10 of them. And so like as soon as the 10 were out, they're gone, and these haven't been around like in ages, and you got like the first pick. I remember one time we found more like Be Joyful perfumes, which was one of the holiday releases that they tried to keep around for a while, but it didn't really work out. It wasn't like the best body care wise, but I had to say like the perfume was amazing. And we had like a box of like the actual like EDPs, and they were 75% off. And so the perfumes that technically retail for like what, $40, $35, super expensive. For 75% off, you got a perfume for $9, and there was only like 6 of them. So I grabbed one up, and I ended up gifting that to my mom. So it's like you get first dibs on things that people don't even know come out, because you work there and like you're the one putting the product out as well. So it's like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing deal. I'm going to put it, especially when things went 75% off, because like during the sale, a lot of things change in price, like depending on the day or whatever. Oh, I need a brush. So it's like you could like hide stuff, or like you could, you know what day it's going 75% off, and that's usually the best deal, and you're allowed to use like coupons and all of that stuff. So I loved working semi-annual sales for like that reason specifically, just to see like what hidden gems we were gonna find, or we're gonna be like limited, like once they're gone, they're gone. And quite a few times that actually happened. So that's what I like. I hated like wearing this stupid orangey red like aprons during the Christmas and the semi-annual sale, but whatever. I like the blue ones way more. I guess though one more pro, and then since I'm about to finish up here, one more pro, and then I'll touch on the last con. Why do I keep forgetting brushes? I'm just gonna bring all my face brushes here. One more pro is the post inventory grabs. I don't remember if I mentioned this in my why I left Bath & Body Works. Probably not. I don't know. I haven't seen that video in a while. I try not to go back to those old videos. So after we do inventory, which is around every August maybe, there's a lot of things, and I guess this has to go with the last con as well. There is a lot of products that people return, or that were just extras and left over, that we don't want to use in our inventory, or we can't use it in our inventory anymore to sell to the public. So we'll have a couple boxes of these products that like the company has said like, no, like you can't sell this to the public anymore. So what we end up doing, it's called MOS. I don't know what MOS stands for. I know MOS is more like kind of like the inventory term. But after that, you're allowed to purchase a bag, like a Bath & Body Works bag. Depending on the store, it would either be like a small bag or a medium bag, but you were allowed to like double up on the bag, so you would have like more room. And so you were allowed to pick like whatever you wanted. Like you had to fill this bag up. Like for $5, you could fill this bag up to the brim, which is why we would double up on the bags. Because then that way like there was more room and it wasn't gonna fall apart. And you just could fill it up with all these products, and that is yours. A lot of times we would do like the first round, so everybody has to go, and there was still product left over because it was that much product. And after like that first round, you were allowed to buy another bag and do like a second round. And I remember the last year that I worked at Bath & Body Works, there was so much MOS. There was so much that we literally grabbed boxes and filled the boxes up to the brim, and that was our MOS for like $5. And that is like an amazing steal in regards to like just having more product and taking product home. I loved MOS. That was like probably my favorite time. That was my favorite time of year, more than gratis itself, more than working at the semi-annual sale, because for $5 you got to take home a bunch of product that wasn't sellable to the public, but it was still like brand new and usable. And the reason why I'm gonna tie this into my con, not so much, but it's whenever we got like returns that, you know, weren't like sellable to the public, or we weren't selling it anymore. So like if somebody returned a candle that was like a dud, that it smelled like kerosene or had already been burned, we had to destroy the candles. And I know like this is so controversial, I guess more in the fashion industry, where it's like when brands destroy their own clothing, which I get that point. When it comes to clothing, that's kind of wasteful. But in regards to like burned candles, like halfway up used lotion, I guess you can't sell it. No one's gonna want to use it, so we just destroy it. So if we got like a candle that was used, we would, at first it would pain me to do this, but then like as like I got used to it, I found it so much fun to destroy candles. Because like you would put it in a Bath & Body Works, like the little paper bags, and you would just like double it up, you would seal it, and then you could smash it against the floor, and that was so much fun. I know at first it hurt me, like I was like, oh my god, we have to destroy them. Yeah, because it's like you can't do anything with a used candle that especially like doesn't work. So we would destroy candles. If it was a lotion that was older, that smelled off, or that was already used, we would have to like dump all of the contents out. So you would just squeeze the lotion into the trash can. Super wasteful, I know, but it's like you can't sell it. And as a company, I guess I understand that when it comes to like Bath and Body products. But if like people return things like that they got as a gift and they were exchanging and that product was no longer out and it hadn't been used, that's the product, some of the product that would go into like these boxes that you were able to like fill up and take, or the bags that you were able to purchase and then fill up and take home. So that's kind of how it ties in. But yeah, so that is everything I have to say about Bath and Body Works, about the pros and the cons about working there. I feel like my get ready with me's are so long because I can get super chatty, but my makeup is done except for the lips. But you know, I'm still gonna have breakfast, so there's no point of putting lipstick on. I hope you guys enjoyed and made it to the end, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Again, leave a comment down below if you want me to talk about a certain topic during a next get ready with me. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.